Morgan was a bright-eyed, voracious reader. She was 5 years old. She liked to turn cartwheels instead of look for the soccer ball. She went in for what was supposed to be a routine MRI, and they found that the tumor had come back. It had grown into her frontal lobes, and at that point, there was really nothing else that they could offer us, so we just took her home and prepared for the inevitable. She passed away in November of '98 when she was 6. My name is Joan Slaughter, and I am the co-founder of the Morgan Adams Foundation, an organization that my late husband and I started in honor of our daughter. We fund pediatric cancer research.
Cancer is devastating.
Cancer is darkness.
Heartbreaking.
Horrible.
Inevitably going to affect everyone at some point.
It steals everything.
Cancer is the worst thing ever, especially when it happens to your kid.
Cancer is a bully.
Cancer can happen to anyone.
It's just something no kid should ever have to go through.
Cancer is conquerable.
I'm Allison.
I'm Peter.
Our kids are Lilian and Gavin.
I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma at age 17.
The doctor gave her a full exam, and she said, it's really hard to believe because you've been functioning at such a high level. And she turned around the screen and she said, it's hard to believe that you have a mass the size of a football in your chest.
And all of a sudden, the whole world's upside down, just like that. And you're marching down this hall.
So they treated her with the most aggressive protocol, which was 6 months of chemo and radiation both. After Lily rang the bell, we had almost 2 years where her scans were all clean. She's moving on with her life, her hair's growing back. And then Gavin started to be sick.
Right in the middle of high school, I was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. You never expect to hear those words. The chances of me getting the same cancer as her, let alone any sort of cancer, were just astronomical. I had 6 months of chemo, but I was one of very few kids who was able to avoid radiation.
In the 2 years that passed between when our kids started treatment, there was a study done. The protocol had changed for pediatric Hodgkin's high-risk patients who responded well to chemo to eliminate radiation entirely. And so Lily had radiation, and Gavin did not. That's the difference research makes, and we are in a unique position to see that between our 2 children, 2 years, research made that difference.
It's really hard to be told that your baby's fine when you feel that something's not fine.
The last thing we thought it was, or thought was cancer, but he stopped moving his legs.
The lab results came back. It was confirmed that it was neuroblastoma. Miles would need 4 cycles of chemotherapy.
One of the doctors that came in, and he was like, a couple decades ago, we would have just operated on him. And we would have really risked paralyzing him or giving him some serious spine trauma. But now, because of research, we know that we don't want to operate on him. That could make it worse. We want to shrink this with proven chemotherapies that have done the job.
The oncologist came in and she was smiling ear to ear. And she said, guys, his tumor shrunk anywhere between 75 to 94%. And we're going to declare him in remission. Now Miles is almost walking. He feels great. He is just loving life.
My name is Ryan.
My name is Jen.
I am Connor.
They did a CT scan and found that he had a mass in his brain.
When he was 6, he had his last MRI and was given just a perfect, clean bill of health. And just knowing what he went through, it's an amazing story. So every time he's out there on the field, it definitely goes through your head.
You can't doubt the good work that those doctors and researchers are doing.
I'm a researcher with a goal to find a cure for kids with cancer. In 2001, our second son, Rishi, was born, And in 2002, Rishi was diagnosed with neuroblastoma. They did their best to save him, but they could not. So that's why I decided to do research in the field of pediatric cancers. We got huge funding from Morgan Adams Foundation to do the sequencing at the single cell level of each patient tumors. With this, we have identified how each patient could respond differently to treatments to save these kids' life.
Research is not just a black hole of money. The idea of giving a child hope, right? That's our big thing at Morgan Adams right now. We don't want to give a child hope. We want to give them more than hope. We want to give them the real possibility of a cure.
When I think about the impact that the Morgan Adams Foundation has made for the children that we care for, it's impossible to measure the difference that has been made because of the investment that the foundation has made and that our donors have made. I had the absolute privilege of taking care of Morgan Adams. And the impact of her life is much bigger than all of us. But it's why we have to do this work.
I am more than cancer.
I am more than cancer.
I am more than cancer.
And
we need more than hope.
More than hope.
We need you.
We need to be able to fund the research that gives our kids a real chance at a cure.